Yes, good evening. How are we doing? When the dust has settled, we can all talk with calmer heads and calmer minds about this situation at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the first thing I'll say is this: the first thing I should say is good evening. I said good evening, not good evening. Good evening to all of you. I hope you are well. And thank you very much. Lots of likes and super chats earlier, so thank you. Really appreciate that as we head towards the 25,000 subscriber mark. Smash the like button. We've been very bad at that. We've been very, very bad at that on this channel. Smash the like button. We got 30 likes. There's already 175 people in here, and we've only been going for 1 minute. So smash that like button. Look, I guess the question is, we're talking about this Spurs situation. I guess the question is there a situation? Because depending on, again, all of what we talk about, right, is it's all dependent, isn't it? It's all dependent on who you listen to. So lots of noise that came out this morning was, there's a big board meeting. There's a board meeting going on. Oh, he's definitely getting a sack. There's a board meeting. And then you see other people who are in the know going, what board meeting? No, Vinay is always at the training ground. It's not unheard of. And Thomas Frank's taking training. Sorry, I'm just waiting for something to be sent to me. Okay. Let me send this one as well. Okay, so Tom Allnut has said a few things that I will bring up on the screen. So I'm just gonna send that to myself. So bear with me 1 second. Look, it all depends, doesn't it? Right? It all depends. I get the difficulty of making this decision for Tottenham is going to be about timing, as with anything, right? As with anything. You're in the middle of a transfer window, and please don't spam in the chat. Oh, you're just going to be blocked. One more, you're blocked. Please don't. You're going to do it. You've done it. Well, what's wrong with you? Right, let's put that person in blocked. It's timing, right? It's going to be timing. So I see people in the chat saying things like, "Come on, Spurs, where's the answer?" It's like, whoa. Again, you've got to realize how these football clubs work behind the scenes. This is a big decision for Tottenham Hotspur, right? This is a really big decision because it's not, again, as fans, we all go, oh my God, just sack him and have done with it and get someone in. But it's January. It's the transfer window. It's a very precarious time for Tottenham Hotspur. We've got a Champions League game coming up. You've got, 13, 14 days left of a transfer window. If they were going to make the change, it's not going to just be rolled out like that. They're going to have to put the comms together. They're going to have to, they're going to have to decide, right, what do we do? And that's the thing, right? What do we do? Because as fans, we say, don't we? Just sack him. Cool. All right. Cool. But don't you? Cool. If anyone can tell me what that's from, 5 brownie points. Cool. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. The intangibles around this. Oh God, I'm getting loads of messages. The intangibles around this are that. What do you do? What do you go? What do you do? Where do you go? Who do you bring in? Now, is it an interim? Sure. Okay, cool. Who's the interim? Right? Is it Johnny Heitinger, who's been at the club for 2 days? Right? Is it a Ryan Mason character? I don't know. You know, like how Man United were looking at the likes of Carrick, etc. Do you go and bring in? Yeah, it was from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. For anyone who got that, yeah, it was. Yeah, Jake Peralta. Do you go and bring in an interim? Do you try and solve the problem in January? Do you try and go for a manager now, knowing that the pool of candidates is going to be a lot smaller in January than it is in the summer? And I guess this is the difference between what they've got to do as owners. It's not me sticking up for the owners, by the way. This is just business common sense. Versus what the fans want. Now, you've got to ask yourself the question as well. If you are an interim manager, is this job attractive? Right now, how attractive is the Tottenham job? This is all hypothetical. Should he leave, right? Should he leave? How attractive is this to managers? and what level. What I mean is, what level of manager is this going to be attractive to? So it's all about timing, isn't it? If you want to sack him, right, you have to ask yourself, who's coming in? Is it temporary? Is it going to be permanent? Do we wait till the summer when the pool is bigger of candidates? And that's what you've got to ask yourself. Right now, if you are, I see names that are suggested like Jurgen Klopp. You tell me, why would Jurgen Klopp want to come and manage Tottenham Hotspur? Realistically, Jurgen Klopp has been there, seen it, done it, right? Been there, seen it, done it, hasn't he? Why would he want to come to Tottenham? Now, I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying, I'm asking you lot, like, why? What's the draw? What's the draw for a Jurgen Klopp to come into Tottenham? Now, yeah, money talk. Yeah, lots of people talking about money in the chat. Of course, money talks, but again, it's a big job for somebody. We've got to bear that in mind. It's a big job. If you are a Jurgen Klopp, you're going to be looking at this and going, I'm years away. Like I'm absolutely years away from creating anything. And we don't know, does somebody like a Jurgen Klopp want that challenge? Like he's done it at Dortmund. He's done it at Liverpool. Does he want to do it again at his stage at this stage of his career? So right now, if you said to me, Jurgen Klopp, would you take him? Of course you would take him. Of course you would. He'd be sensational. But if I'm Jurgen Klopp, I'm looking at this and going, I've had Conte, I've had Jose, and Ange, and Frank, and Poch, and I'm not sure. Now, you might go for it if it's the short term for the money. So if they went to somebody, and I don't know who this would be, if they went to someone and said, look, we're going to give you £2 million between now and the end of the season to come in and be our interim manager. I mean, for £2 million, it might be worth the squeeze, right? Depending on how much somebody needs the money, depending on their time of life. But you also might look and go, oh, hang on, they've got a massive injury crisis. I might be dragged into a relegation battle. Do I need this hassle? And again, I'm just trying to play both sides of the fence. The other side of that fence is somebody might come in and go, well, do you know what? Yeah, I can get them away from there. Somebody might come in and go, Jesus Christ, look at that February, right? Look at that February. Do I really want to go and pick up Spurs as they're about to play Newcastle, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea? Do you know what? Like, you've got to, lots and lots and lots of questions need to be asked. Lots of questions need to be asked. That is why I don't think, like, we've heard anything today. Now, again, I don't know. They might have made the decision. They might have not. We don't know. But I'm guessing the difficulty, I say guessing, this is just common sense. The difficulty is going to be, right, okay, right. Are we going to get rid of Frank? Okay, we're going to get rid of him. Right. Who's making the phone call to XYZ? What's the sell? What are we offering them? Are we going to go and try and get a manager out of his club in January? Do we then have to pay a massive get out? All of these different things that you've really got to think about. And that's what makes it more difficult than when fans just go, sack him already. Yeah, cool, sack him. But it's, again, you guys hear me talk about this every day. There's got to be a plan, right? And again, we want in the board to act differently whilst asking them to do whatever's happened before. So, for example, when people are talking about Pochettino, now you've got to ask yourself this question, right? Pochettino is going to be at the World Cup with the USA. So what you're saying to him is, look, we want you to go from the USA, don't have a holiday. As soon as the World Cup finishes, we want you back at Spurs in training. He's going to have to be speaking to whoever back here about transfers in the meantime. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm guessing it's going to happen. I'm just trying to say why I think it's probably not being rushed through as quickly as some would like. You see, like, this person's not listening to what I'm saying. I feel like it. I feel like sometimes what I'm saying is going in there and out there. Not saying he won't be sacked. What I'm saying is I feel like this is why they'll be giving it some time and thought. Look, you know, Well, again, Alfie, again, there are clubs that will sack a manager with no plan, right? And there are clubs that want to have a plan in place, and that's the difficulty, right? Maybe you go, okay, well, that's fine. We can sack him. Heitinger, who's an experienced manager, can come in. He can take it on till the end of the season, and then it gives us 4 or 5 months or 4 months to find a replacement in the background, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you have to ask yourself the question. I mean, Heitinger only joined 2 days ago as an assistant coach, so it's like, do you just go, right, hey, Johnny, look, we know we hired you 48 hours ago, but hey, come into the office. Hey, you're the main man. You're taking the show. What? I'm in charge. Yeah, you're in charge. So there's a lot of questions. Do you go back to someone like Tim Sherwood? Right? I mean, again, when people talk about Conte's famous rant, Tim Sherwood said before Conte, didn't he? Like, wasn't it in 2014? He said something. Hang on, let's see. That's Leeds United assigning that person. Do you remember Tim Sherwood came out? I think it was after. I want to say it was after a game against Chelsea. And he came out and he just said all about the club, didn't he? And the players, and nothing's changed and all this kind of stuff. So I genuinely feel like nothing's really moved on, has it? We're 12 years down the line from that. We're 12 years down the line from that, and no lessons have really been learned. So I'm calm about it because I feel like the club's in such a mess anyway that I don't feel like an immediate anything needs to happen now, this second. If it does, it does. But nothing's going to change between now and May. Like, nothing drastic is going to change between now and May. Dude, I haven't insulted you. You're just not listening. You haven't listened to what I said. John, I'm going to just say this. Listen to the conversation we're having. We're literally talking about what to do to replace Frank and that he needs to go. I don't know what you admit you were wrong about what. I wanted the managers to come in, be given 2 or 3 years and build a squad. We're not going to do that with Frank. So he's going to go and we go again. I don't know what you want. I'm really concerned that you're not listening to what I'm actually saying. We're talking about moving forward. The point scoring thing is ridiculous because you know everything I say because I'm live. You are just somebody in the chat who I don't know your opinions. So unfortunately, it's very difficult for us to ever have a conversation about, right or wrong. Everyone is so worried about right versus wrong. It's just baffling. All I care about is this football club. Yeah, he did. By the way, yeah, he did. Sherwood, yeah. So we're gutless. So the question is, was there a meeting today? I don't know. I don't know. Was there a meeting today? Is there going to be a meeting? We've seen Alex Crook today, Ben Jacobs today. We've seen Sammy Mockbell. They're all talking about Frank's on the verge of going. But until we get that news from Tottenham Hotspur, it doesn't really mean anything. And the worry I've got, as always, right? Dude, by the way, I'm going to give you one chance. But dude, what I've noticed about you, Adekunle, the moment one of my guests or somebody else has a go at me, you start being rude to me, right? But then you come back in and you chat. Every message you post on my YouTube is rude. I'm going to draw a line under that and say we'll start again. But I don't like it when people are nice. And then as soon as somebody has a go at me, you jump on the coattails. So let's just bear that in mind. Look, we don't know. We don't know what the club are going to do. Maybe they come out and back him. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe they do. And I think Sean Butler made a great point today. He said, if the board come out and sack him, it means that they are saying their project they don't want to back. Now, you could take that word, project, and whatever. But do we trust these owners to get the right man in? And who is making that decision? Again, this is completely separate from Frank. So who is that man? Is it Vinay? Is it Lang? Who are we trusting to make this decision? Who are we trusting? I don't know. Lang? People trusting Lang to make that decision? Vinay? Has Vinay got loads of managers' phone numbers that he can make that call and their agents. I don't know. So it's going to be a really, really interesting few days. Now, this can go one of two ways. Right? Money Mates, I don't disagree with you. I think this is the difficulty where everyone wants to just play one side of the fence. For me, Frank has to go, right? But yes, I think the squad is awful. And it seems like people can't say both. It has to be one or the other. And for me, you've heard me say this, Money Mace, for years. I think the squad year on year is getting worse. Year and year and year is getting worse. And whoever comes in next is going to need to be a magician. Whoever comes in is going to need to be a magician. Because right now, we don't have options. Right now, we have got, I mean, have you guys seen the 11 we're going to have to put out against Dortmund? So, look, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what we actually do here. It's going to be really interesting to see, are Spurs going to put a plan in? I don't know. And the thing is, the problem we've seen is, like, for example, when we sacked, who did we sack? When we sacked, who was it where it was it after, who was it when we had the 75 odd days without a manager? Was it, I can't remember who in between which two managers. So look, I don't want to be in that. I'm sure we all don't want to be in that scenario. You know, the interim suggests the best possibility, but again, who's the interim? Is it Heitinger? Can anyone think of any other names who comes in as an interim for the next 4 months? It's a tough one, isn't it? You know, I don't know. I just don't know. And I think this is the interesting thing, right? I think this is the really interesting thing. Forget whether we're Frank in, Frank out, this, that, the other, want Potts, want this. Spurs have got to navigate a tricky period here. We've got to navigate a very tricky period. We've got an absolutely depleted squad. Certainly for Tuesday's game, absolutely depleted. Where I think the whole, maybe the first team is going to have a couple of 18-year-olds, and the squad, the bench is definitely going to be loads of 17-year-olds. It's crazy how little we've got available for Tuesday night, and I'm expecting nothing. Doesn't matter if Pep Guardiola's manager. I'm expecting nothing Tuesday night. We are down to absolutely nothing. I think we're going to have to play centre backs at centre mid and full backs at centre back. It's going to be mad. And I think this is the question, Steve, right? Is who do you trust to make the decision? Like, as I said, I don't know. The very same people that everyone are saying, oh, get Vinoy out, get Lang out. This project hasn't worked after 6 months, but please go and pick us a new manager. And people are going to be skeptical. And as I've said, for me, the next manager for me, I'm just going to say welcome and good luck. Whoever it is, welcome and good luck. I'm going to have no hard and fast rule on this next manager because, as I've said, until up there changes, I don't really think it's going to make a difference. It might a couple of league positions here, a couple of league positions there. But in terms of actually being a well-structured football club, I don't think it's going to make a difference. And I think there are a lot of fans that are thinking that changing the manager is going to mean an instant turnaround. And I don't think it is. Could be wrong. But we've been going backwards for a long time now. We've been going backwards for a very, very long time. So who do we trust? Don't know. Who's the interim manager? Don't know. I'll say what I said earlier. I think it is time. I think it is time for Frank to go for a number of reasons. I think Frank needs to be somewhere where he's a bit more settled, which has got a plan in place, and I think he works well with that structure. I think Spurs is chaotic. I think Spurs is a chaotic mess, And I don't think Thomas Frank is used to this. Thomas Frank's come from a club that's very well organised. The day-to-day running of the club is immaculate. The scouting is immaculate. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. And it's not here. So I think for him, for us, for the fans, for the atmosphere, I think there needs to be a parting between the two parties. I do think what will happen, though, is I think Frank will go to another club next season. And I think he will be given time. It will be less chaotic and he will have a good career. And he will do what he did at Brentford. But we're a different breed over here. And we don't quite... but again, look at this. Dortmund are shite. We should beat them. Have you seen? We've got no midfielders available. Have you seen the players we've got available? Somebody sent this to me earlier. Let me have a look, right? Someone sent this to me. Honestly, when people say things like this, Dortmund are shite, we should beat them. Like, where do these people, do these people live under rocks, right? Gray, if fit. If Gray is not fit, who plays at centre mid? Look at that 11. I don't fancy that 11 to beat Borussia Dortmund. That 11 is weak as piss. And we've got, again, this, as I said, guys, people like Marios are the living embodiment of why I think Spurs are a mess. Like I think he's the living embodiment of our self, not importance, our self-worth. No, that's not what am I looking for? Our idea of what we are is so far removed from what we actually are in some people's minds. We are not a good team at the moment, not with a good squad. And we've got multiple players out, suspended, cup-tied, not allowed to play because they're not in the squad. And fans going, yeah, we should beat Dortmund. And you're like, whoa, 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 should we? Look, I'll bite your hand off for anything you offer me now. But again, I feel like until we get to a stage where there is a full acknowledgement from everyone as to where we are as a football club, I don't think we're ever going to be happy with what we see moving forward. That's only my personal belief. I truly believe that. I think there are a lot of people who are so head in the sand as to all the issues at this football club. And they are banking purely on Frank getting sacked to solve it all. And I don't think that's going to be the case because it's not been the case for 25 years. It's not been the case for 25 years. So we suddenly think it's going to change now. I think a lot of people my mate messaged me. Yes, it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday after the game, and he went, Jesus. He went, your team is. He said these players are crap, and I said, yeah, look. He said to me, don't get me wrong, Frank needs to go, but he said these players are crap, and I said, yeah, but you're not allowed to say that. And as I've said, I think when the Madisons are fit, when Kulu's fit, when Solanke's fit, I think when they're all fit, I think we can put out a good team, not a world-beating team, but a good team. Right now, we're in a position where everything's a bit of a mess, isn't it? We've got no players available really for Tuesday. So somebody said, I think Solanke is not in the Champions League squad. Neither is Basuma. Gallagher's cup tied because he's played for Atletico in the Champions League squad. Mickey van der Ven is suspended. Ben Davis is injured. Am I missing anybody? Archie Gray and Simmons apparently are going to have fitness tests this week because they've got knocks. Paulinho is injured. And you know, when you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, who's going to play? Who's going to play against Dortmund on Tuesday? Like, we're looking at the point where, it's who's going to play? Are we looking at Ulasesi? I don't know. A midfield of Bergvall and Gray? I mean, if Gray's fit, it's going to be really tough. And again, forget it's not about Thomas Frank. This is just about Tottenham. This is about Tottenham and their availability for Tuesday night. So whether or not Thomas Frank takes the game, whether or not he's sacked tomorrow and Heitinger takes it until they find an interim or a new manager, It's going to be really, really difficult Tuesday night. And I just think, again, as I've said, when people sit and say things like that, they are trolling or they really don't understand football, right? They are. They're trolling. When you're saying put out a second string lineup, that's what we've got fit is our second string lineup. Have you seen how many players? Again, people have really got to go and have a look at how many are not available for Tuesday night. It is bad. It is bad. I fully expect that Dortmund will have way too much for us. I fully expect they will. Listen, if there's no Paulinho, no Gallagher, no Basuma, no Mickey van der Ven, no Solanke, no Madison, no Kul, like it's just adding up. If there's no it's just got mad, isn't it? It's just mad. So again, big up to you, Stefan, who says, how about an upcoming manager like the Brighton one? Look, I guess the problem is if you bring in someone like Hertzler, what's going to be thrown again, right, is people going, but what's he done? He hasn't got the experience of a club our size, So this is where it becomes very difficult as to what is it that Spurs want and what is it that Spurs need. Some people just say we need a winner. Well, which winner's coming to us at the moment? What's their remit on winning? What are we going to be close to winning? So all of these different questions, I love to ask about it because, Marius, mate, can I ask nicely, please, can you go to another chat? I don't want to block you. You've done nothing wrong per se, but honestly, your views are just a little bit too childish for me. Marius, please message me back and tell me how many players are missing for Tuesday night. We might have to play Ulasesi in central midfield. We've got no players available, mate. I genuinely don't know how. We're at the stage, aren't we, Marius, where if I say it's Sunday night, you tell me it's Monday night. It's getting a bit silly. And the Dortmund lineup can only be Vicario, Porro, Romero, Danso, Spence, Gray, Bergfeld, Xavi, Tello, De Bonwani. Yeah, I don't expect anything from that. That midfield and forward line is utter tripe. That front six, Spence, Gray, Bergvall, Xavi, Tell, Odebert, Mawani. How am I as a fan? How am I as a grown adult who watches football meant to go, yeah, that will take Dortmund apart? I just can't believe it. I can't believe people are watching this forward line and going, yeah, that will beat Dortmund. AJR said, no Paulinho, injured, no Gray, injured, no Bentoncourt, injured. No Gallagher, injured, no Basuma, not in the squad. VDV, suspended, no Sarr, AFCON. Like, yeah, look, it's, mate, look, it's, it's mad. It's true. It's truly mad what's going on at this football club away from the manager situation. I don't know what we can field, but listen, I'll take a draw. I'll bite your hand off for a draw against Dortmund right now. I don't know their injury situation. Let's have a look. So Marius assures me that Dortmund are shit. So let's have a look at how shit Dortmund are. Yeah, Dortmund are shit while they're sitting second in the Bundesliga. Yeah, they're Dortmund are shit, right? Here we go. Guys and girls, let's have a look, right? Oh, wow. Right. So Dortmund are shit, by the way. Dortmund have not lost a game in the Bundesliga since October. So just let that sink in. When fans come in and they're trolls now. Dortmund have not lost a league game, right, since the 18th of October. And since then, the two games they've lost in 3.5 months are Man City in the Champions League and Leverkusen in the Cup. Now, let me give you that to you in broader terms, right? Here we go. Right, you ready for this? 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. In the last 27 games, they've lost 3. That is to Bayern Munich, Leverkusen, and Man City. Let that sink in, right? And this is what I mean. I'm all for opinions. I am. But when people just say things that they don't know, it really is silly. It borders on being really childish at that stage. Three defeats in since August. And we're going, yeah, they're shit. We should beat them, while we're like we are. Come on. Madness, absolutely madness. And again, this is the problem, because this is somebody that thinks that Spurs are going to just drop in a new manager and suddenly we're chasing top four. This is why the expectations of some fans really has got to be aligned or realigned. Got to be realigned. So, look, I think this is going to be interesting as to where Spurs go moving forward. Now, we don't even know, right? We don't even know if he's going to be sacked. I think there's too much noise around it. I think he's going to go. But there's going to be loads of questions. What caliber of manager can we attract? Let me ask you in the chat. Let's see. Right? What caliber can we attract? Southgate? People talking about Xabi Alonso. Will Xabi Alonso have better offers than Spurs? I don't. I'm just spitballing. You let me know in the chat right now. So it's 808. Let me know in the chat. Who do we think? Right? Who do we think we can attract truly? Who do we think that's going to look at this and go, yeah, I'm excited by that prospect of joining Tottenham? Who do we think? Now, I'm at the stage where, as I said to you, I don't care now. I genuinely don't care. I genuinely don't care who the next manager is, because I'm at the stage where if they don't implement something, it doesn't matter. But I'm genuinely intrigued to see what you guys think is going to be the next manager. I'm intrigued to see. Yeah, mate. Honestly, imagine a midfield two of Graham Bergvall. It'll be the weakest midfield I think I've ever seen Spurs play ever. Maybe, I don't know. Sure, we can come up with some others, but yeah, look, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It is indeed. Yeah, absolutely, Ash. We've really got to hope. We've really got to hope. We've really got to hope. Look, dude. All right, this is what I mean. Your last 5 messages, just relax. Adekunle, just relax. Again, every single message, just relax, enjoy the show and talk football. That's all you got to do, my man. That's all you got to do. People talking about Robbie Keane as an interim. But Robbie Keane's got a job. Is Robbie Keane going to quit his job to be the interim Tottenham manager? I don't know. Sorry, people are sending me through stuff. I don't know how. I don't. Some reports suggesting that Frank will be given the Dortmund game. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea who knows what anymore. But yeah, listen, would Robbie Keane want to leave Ferencvaros to be the interim with no guarantee of a full-time job? I'm not sure I would. Would you? I'm not sure. You're hearing it. Who are you hearing this from? Who are we hearing this from? And I'll do some super chats in a minute, guys, as well. Yeah, Chuck Williams Barnett in. It's a big baptism of fire, isn't it? Chucking a 17-year-old kid into a Champions League game against Dortmund. But we might not have any option. We might not have any choice, Phil. And this is where we're at. We might not have any choice. No, mate, please go and do your homework. Please go and do your homework, mate. Mickey van der Ven is suspended. Basuma is not in the Champions League squad. Neither is Solanke, and Conor Gallagher is cup-tied. Ben Davis is out injured. Gray has got a knock. Gray, Simmons, and Paulinho, they're not sure if they're going to play. Mate, again, as I said, Marius, you've got to go and do your homework, mate. You've got to go and do your homework. Because it is silly now. Look, where do we go? There are people suggesting Glasner. Sure. You're going to get the same answer from me from every manager. Sure, whatever. All right. Some people, they don't want Glasner. Too pragmatic, some say. Some people want Xavi Hernandez. Some want Pochettino. Some want Xabi Alonso. Holness of Stuttgart. I don't know. I just don't know where we go. I don't know who wants to accept this. I don't think it's attractive. The Spurs board are going to need to sell this very, very well to somebody. And they're going to have to keep that promise. They're going to have to keep that promise. John, thank you very much, by the way. Sorry, I did, in all of the kerfuffle earlier, I did forget to say thank you. You sent me a coffee. So thank you very much. So big up to you, John. No, agreed. This is the problem, right? This whole manager situation right now is overshadowing players. Like right now, we're in a transfer window. Whoever the manager is, we're in a transfer window. Is this scenario going to stop us from doing anything? I genuinely don't know. Are we going to attract players if we go, oh, yeah, by the way, we just sacked our manager. We've got an interim in charge until May. Are players going to want to join that? Kevin, there are fans that think that, though. That's the problem. I'm not gaslighting anybody. There are fans that think that. There are. There are fans that look at that forward line and think it's good. This is the worst forward line. That front three that played yesterday is the worst forward line I think I can say I've seen in the last 3 decades. I cannot think of a worse forward line than that three. That's only me. Other people might have a different... I think it was absolutely powder puff. So, look, it's going to be interesting to see, isn't it? I'm intrigued more than anything. Spurs losing managers, that's nothing new, is it? I mean, look, I'm so old now. Spurs losing managers. Oh, yeah, Tell is not... No, Tell is in the Champions League squad, isn't he? He is. They took out Solanke for Tell, if I'm not wrong, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Look, where do we go from here as a club? Where do we go from here as a club? Manager, change. What happens with the owners? What happens with the CEO? What happens with the director of football? Because these are the people that we're entrusting to change the fortunes. The same people that have been running this club for decades. We're now going to go on, spin the dice again, spin the wheel, roll the dice. Who are we getting in? And I just feel like we're going to be... I just feel like we're going to be here again very soon if we don't put a plan in place. I feel like we've seen this game before. We've seen this movie before. We've seen how this pans out. And I just feel, I don't know about you, like, I feel numb. I feel a bit sad as to what's happening at Tottenham in the last few years. I feel a bit sad. Feel a bit numb. And we shouldn't be in this scenario for the size of the club in terms of our financial stature and the number of Champions League finishes we've had. We shouldn't be in this scenario. Yeah, sorry, Bobby. Yeah. I know, my man. I know. But it's good, though, because I think some of those people in the chat, it does tell you, you can see who understands football to any sort of level versus those that don't. I mean, the fact that we got fans who don't know who is actually available for Tuesday night is really worrying. That's the first thing you should know as a fan, right? You know who's available and who's not. Big up to my boy, Chris. How you doing? Lovely to see you on Saturday, mate. Said, sack him or back him. Take responsibility and take ownership of your actions. Frank is doomed, I feel. I agree with you. The players are too pampered. I agree with that. Started well under Ange and Frank, then chucked it in when they can't be asked. And Chris, as I said to you yesterday, mate, my worry is that the same players are going to do the same thing again, right? And listen, I think the whole squad needs an overhaul for the new manager. But I was talking like he's been sacked. But, you know, I think the whole squad needs an overhaul for whatever manager comes in. We've seen, it doesn't matter who Romero plays for, he downs tools. It doesn't matter if it's Conte. It doesn't matter if it's Ange. It doesn't matter if it's Nuno. It doesn't matter if it's, he just downs tools. Porro, Benton. We've seen it with all of these players, right? We know what they're going to do. And I think you're right. Frankie's doomed and he has to take that on the shoulders because it is a results business. We know that. That's never going to change for whoever the name of the manager is. But what do you do? Like, what do you do? So let's have a look at some of the names that people are saying. So Glasner is one. Now, Glasner, again, interesting character. Look, we've seen Glasner was called out the Palace board. He's not been backed. But again, what have you noticed about Glasner? Glasner, a manager that's not been backed, playing 2 games a week, hasn't got a squad big enough to cope with that. And he can't buy a win for love nor money, a bit like Tottenham. So, again, quite a pragmatic manager in his own way. So, again, let me know your thoughts on Glasner. I'm not saying anything. Bring him in. I don't care. Let's see who else people have been saying. Marco Silva, whose contract is up at the end of the season. Again, the question mark against Marco Silva is going to be, well, he's never had to manage twice a week in Europe. So, with Europe. Has he ever managed a big club? Like, those are the question marks that are going to be thrown out if you get someone like that. But again, if he comes, I will turn around and say, welcome to the football club. Good luck. That's where I'm at now with any manager. Welcome and good luck. I'm not going in for anybody. Pointless. Unless they're backed, I just don't care right now. Another person said Glasner. Let's see. Glasner, another Glasner. Lots of people want Glasner. Interesting. Terzic. We've got Terzic. Kieran McKenna. What do you want, Kieran McKenna? Interesting option. Again, Kieran McKenna. What's the highest he's managed at? Is it a relegated Ipswich? Is that any better? Like, is that? I don't know. Great question. And again, this is what we were saying earlier. Does sacking a manager in a January window affect the window? You've got to say yes, right? You've got to say yes. If I'm a footballer in talks with Tottenham, and we turn around and go, right, okay, yeah, the deal's going to get done at the end of this week. By the way, we've just sacked the manager. My questions now change, don't they? Why? Who are you bringing in? What's the plan? Because I want to know what I'm playing for. I want to know where I'm joining, right? Because I want to know, well, hang on, what if you bring in a manager that doesn't want me, or all of these different things have got to be taken into account. And that's where I think as well, we have to just feel a little bit. So maybe an Iriola or a Poch. Again, Iriola fallen off a cliff this season, but good manager for me. I think he comes across well. I think his football's a little bit out there. I think his teams get ripped open quite a bit. But let's see if that's who people want. Let's get in him. Jurgen Klinsmann. Possibly Jurgen Klinsmann. And Chris, this is my worry. The more we do this, the more we change managers so regularly, are we going to become a poison chalice and managers are only going to want to join so that they can get a payoff? Our manager's going to join and go, well, it doesn't really matter because I'll be sacked in a year anyway and I'm going to get a £15 million, £12 million payoff. I don't know. What level are we at? Like, I know we think when people are saying, just go and get a Klopp, just go. They're like players, right? Managers are like players. They're going to look at our level and go, can I do better? Can I hold out? Let me see who else is available. Let me see who else sacks their manager. So it's not as easy as we think. But we know that this next hire, if they do have to make another hire, is huge. It's absolutely huge. It's true. Our fans do think it's FIFA a lot of the time. That's the problem. People genuinely think a manager with reputation to uphold will see us as attractive because of fancy facilities. Mate, whoever comes into this football club, again, I don't feel a lot of people are really giving this enough credit, needs, like, this person is coming into an absolute shit show. This person is coming in to a ginormous mess. A ginormous mess. Now, if I'm a manager worth my salt, do I go, that's my challenge? That's my challenge. Or do I say, no, I'm on a hiding to nothing? Why am I going to go there? I'll be honest, if I was a manager, I'd be looking at that right now. If I'm worth my salt, if I think other clubs bigger than Tottenham are coming in for me, I'm going to look at this and go, what budget you giving me? Will I have complete control over which players come and which players go? Right? I don't know. Big up, that. Everyone give Daniel a round of applause. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. You don't know because you're a melt. Jesus Christ. 2026, ladies and gentlemen. So our managers asking that question. Now, notice what I do a lot is I ask questions, right? I ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. That's what I do. People take it verbatim. What I'm doing is I'm asking questions because these are questions that need to be asked. These are questions that the Spurs board are going to face issues. The Spurs board are going to have to turn around to whoever the next manager is and say, okay, sorry. Well, what happened with Thomas Frank? Why was he sacked so quickly? Why didn't he get in the players that he wanted? How long have I got? What happens if I have a difficult spell as manager? How much money am I going to have? Lot of questions. Lot of questions. Right? Again, Diego Simeone. I mean, why would Diego Simeone want to join Tottenham Hotspur? I just can't see it. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Whoever comes in is going to need an open checkbook. They're going to need an open checkbook where ENIC sanction whatever they want. They are, aren't they, right? Big up Jason. So when do we stop focusing on whoever the manager is or the players are? It's the ownership. Well, look, the ownership's a massive part of it, right, Jason? Massive part of it. But it goes under the radar. It goes under the radar. They put this squad together, right? If you don't like the manager, you can say, well, they picked this manager and they do this year after year after year after year after year. And it doesn't matter who the manager is. It doesn't matter who the player is. Spurs always seem to be in an ever revolving door that is a mess. So, at what stage do we ask ourselves, hang on, maybe this is bigger. Maybe this is upstairs, right? But we also know, don't we? We also know that getting rid of managers is the easy thing. Getting rid of players, tougher, right? And getting rid of owners, near on impossible, right? Because at the end of the day, they can sell when they want to sell, can't they? As long as they're paying the bills, they can sell when they want to sell. And it's what I find this whole situation, as I said, I actually find it quite sad, if I'm honest, as a Spurs fan. Forget all the YouTube noise. Forget all of the point scoring and the who was right, who was wrong over the... It's actually quite sad, isn't it? That we're in a position where we're sitting here going, right, let's get our 7th manager in 6 years. It's actually really sad. However you dice it up, whatever names we want to talk about, it's really sad. 7 managers in 6 years. 7 managers in 6 years. Let that sink in. That's what it'll be. So the next manager's going to come in and pick up players from Poch, Jose, the Poch era, the Jose era, the Nuno era. Am I getting that right? The Conte era, the Ange era, and the Frank era. This 7th manager is picking up players from 6 managers. No style, no identity, no ethos, no structure, no planning. Lots of different voices in each player's head. The players are just seeing a revolving door of managers, a revolving door. And they're going to be thinking to themselves, aren't they? What's the point? What's the point? All right, this new manager comes in. All right, I'm going to have to get used to him. He's going to say all the same things. We want to build this. We want to do this. It's going to take time. Trust me. Blah, blah, blah. The players must be sitting there thinking, here's the next one. And then when they want to down tools, they'll just down tools again. And we'll go, right, get this one out as well. It's just a revolving door, isn't it? It's just a revolving door. And great point. Yeah, at this rate, yeah, whoever comes in won't have a transfer window. And true. If Thomas Frank, like many believe, is going to be sacked tomorrow, You've then got the last 13 days of the window and you're going, maybe we can loan a few. But who's going to sign permanently not knowing who the manager is? Would you? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't at all. Who's going to sign permanently not knowing who the manager is? Big up, Andy. How you doing, bro? So we are so unattractive as a club now. 17th last season, not going well this season. Don't think some of our fans get that the Europa League doesn't cover that up for people looking in at Spurs. I completely agree. And again, this has got to be part of the thinking. It's got to be part of the thinking, hasn't it, Andy? For any manager who wants to join, for players who want to join. Matthew, how many players are it? Not many. Not many. I think it's a really weak squad. It's just getting weaker year on year. It's getting weaker year on year. And one of the players I'd keep, I don't even know if he's going to come back from injury and be the same player. Let me do some super chats. Big up to all of you. So big up to Tot Spurs 63. So do you think that Frank is the interim until the family drain the swamp post-Levy? I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? You know, was this the idea all along? That Thomas Frank comes in, gets this year, whilst everything else is sorted in the background, they get everything sorted, get all the ducks in a row, and then go, right, see you later, Frank. Right, here's our guy. Who knows? Who knows? Nothing surprises me at Tottenham, mate. Nothing surprises me. Who knows? Big up to you. Thank you very much for that. Appreciated. Steve has said, sack Frank, but what is the plan for his replacement? And agreed. And I know, when I ask questions about succession planning, a lot of people go, I don't care, just sack him. It's like, cool, yeah, cool, got it. But what's the plan? It doesn't matter. No, cool, of course it matters. Of course it matters. Because you can't just be in disarray. There's got to be somebody as a calming influence that comes in and says, right, okay, guys, gather around. Frank's gone. Thomas has gone. I'm in charge until May. Here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. If they haven't got that, what do you do? What do you do? Big up to you, Steve. Really appreciate that. Big up to Ian, who said, I don't trust this board to make the right decisions. So it doesn't matter who we appoint as manager, sack Frank or keep him. I don't care. And I think this is the problem now, right? Is there are so many fans that are at the stage where they're like, well, what does any of this matter? Like, what does any of this matter? And that's what I said at the beginning of the summer. Said, if we don't stick to a manager and keep a plan, I'm just going to be at the point where I don't care anymore. And we're there already, it seems. We're there already. So whoever they bring in, good luck to him. But the board have got to demonstrate to me that they're going to back that guy and that there's a plan in place for that guy who succeeds Thomas Frank. Big up, Ian. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much. Gerald Goldsmith, very generous. Gerald has said, why would Poch come back to Spurs after you got sacked? I know I wouldn't. Come on, you Spurs. Look, I don't know. Right time, right place. I don't know. I don't know, mate. As I've said, I've got no issue if Pochettino comes back. However, are we just repeating history where we bring in a man, don't back him, and this time we're going to be expecting him to do exactly what he did the first time? And the problem is, if he doesn't create that, it's going to almost look a bit sad again, isn't it? Like we're bringing in this guy because, oh my God, he got a second. He got us to a Champions League final. I think we're a million miles off seeing that again. We're a million miles off seeing that again. Too many good clubs, too many good squads. We're miles off it. So, look, is he going to be the guy that unites us all? I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't know what that means. Is he going to want to come in and work for Lang? Has he had enough of ENIC before? I don't know. Is he the ace up their sleeve? Because let's be fair, Gerald, it's an ace up their sleeve, isn't it? If they can turn around, right? If they can turn around and go, here's Poch. Our fan base goes, oh, this is amazing. Poch has come home. And all of a sudden, we just forget all the shit they do, right? Clever. They're very clever. It pacifies the fans, doesn't it? Pacifies the fans. They brought Poch back. Cool. What are you going to do? You're going to back him? You know what I mean? So, look, they're not silly. They're not silly. They know what they're doing. But it's all trickery, isn't it? It's all sleight of hand. It's, you know, in the world of magicians, isn't it? It's all misdirection. Don't worry about this big mess because here's Poch and he's shiny over here. Oh, I'm going to go over there and forget all of this. So we'll see. We'll see. Big up to you. Thank you very much, Gerald. Big up to Jordan COYS. Thank you very much, Jordan. Very generous as always. I said the board were probably looking at the West Ham and Burnley games, hoping Frank would get a couple of wins to buy himself some time and didn't have a plan in place for what happened if we lost. Yeah, every chance of that happening, mate. Every chance. I mean, I think we went into those games going, we need a couple of wins, but it's not happened. Obviously, we don't know about the Burnley game, but it's not happened. It's not, the club is not in a good position. But again, succession planning, really important. And that's why I don't think the decision is going to be as rushed as many think. That's why I don't think it will happen today. Will it happen tomorrow? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. Big up, Jordan. Appreciate you, my man. Big up to the big bodyguard who's become a YouTube member. Big up to you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And I'm going to do 2 members shows this week because I've been really shit at it the last month. I'm going to do 2 this week. So look out for those. You're more than welcome to join. Thank you very much. Big up to, I can't even read that. It said, should do what Marinakis understood when he sacked Ange. The players are not playing for him. They wanted Ange to stay and are telling you on the pitch. Should do what Marinakis understood when he sacked Ange. The players are not playing for him. They wanted Ange to stay and are telling you on the pitch. Look, at the end of the day, though, the problem with anyone keeping a manager because of the players is dangerous because the players can quite easily get a manager sacked. Players can down tools at any point. So it's an interesting one, but thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Big up to Ryan. Thank you very much. So Savva, you called this at the beginning of the season. If we sack Frank, I don't give a damn. ENIC need to go. Then might stop this. It's just crazy, Savva. Look, yeah, I don't think it was about me calling it. I think it was just my way of saying, cool, you've implemented a plan. Let's see it through. And then 7 months in, we're going to say, or 6 months, 7 months in, we're going to say, no, right, plan not worked. Next plan. How do you get behind the next plan? Like, things get difficult. We all shit the bed, don't we? So I get it. He needs to go for various reasons, but are we going to keep doing this, Ryan? Are we going to keep doing this? If Xabi Alonso comes in, what if he goes 7 games without winning? And we drop into the bottom half of the table, and does he get sacked? It's a tough one, right? But hey, this is Spurs. Anything can happen. And Jordan, very, very generous, says it's so easy to say just sack Frank now. But we saw when Conte left, we got worse and worse under Stellini for the rest of the season. We can't just put anyone on the touchline. We need someone competent. And I think that's a really good point. And I think that, all fans do this. We're all the same. We all assume a new manager comes in and immediately, oh, that's good. Now, it can happen like that, right? We've seen it. Some managers go in and you get that massive manager bounce and you drive up the table. Other managers, it just continues the way it is. Look at Forest. Struggling, aren't they? Really struggling. Look at West Ham. Really struggling. They changed their manager, right? Wolves changed their manager. Nothing changed for them. It's a very, very difficult one because there's no way of knowing. So how do you know, how do we know that somebody doesn't come in and takes us down, which would be worse than what we're doing now, right? At the moment, we're 10 points above the relegation zone, right? At the moment, we're 10 points above it. What if somebody comes in and takes us down? Then again, it's all hindsight. Do we look back and go, gosh, shouldn't have sacked Frank in January? Should have left it till the summer. So lots of questions. And this is the problem. None of us know. None of us can see to May. That's the problem. We've got a lot of tough games coming up. What's to say a new manager doesn't come in and lose 5 straight off and we all go, God, well, this hasn't worked. Oh, big up to Guna Coffee Cup. I love this. I love when the trolls come out. I'll buy you a coffee, Savva. Only if you agree to drink it out of a coffee, out of a Guna cup, you mug. Thank you. God, ain't the world a weird place? Thank you very much. Let's just block that person. Big up. What a lovely message that is. So, look, as I said, there's no, I think all the people that are vehemently calling for his head, like it must be done now. What if a new manager comes in and we lose 7 straight off? I'm not saying we will, but what if that happens? What if that happens? What do we do at that stage if that happens? Do we say, oh yeah, well, the players aren't good enough? Or do we go, oh, this manager's unlucky? What do we do? What do we say? What do you say? I don't know what's going to happen. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely do not know whether a new manager comes in right now and gives us a manager bounce, whether we just lose game after game after game and they drag us into a relegation zone. People will say, well, hang on, we're getting dragged that way anyway. Well, we're 10 points off it, but it's the risk you take, right? That's the risk you take of making a decision in January. Frank could stay, turn it around. Frank could stay, could get us relegated. The new manager could get us relegated. The new manager could turn it around. All options are possible. And we need captain hindsight. We do need captain hindsight. This is the problem, right? None of us know. None of us know. Big up to DJ. He said, the only way you sack Frank is if Alonso wants to come. Otherwise, no point. Not like we will fly up the table with an interim. Summer, you have more choices. Well, this is the problem. So this is what was said. So DJ, this is for you. Thank you very much for your super chat. So let me see this, right? So let me just add this one. 1 second. So let me get this right. So Tom Allnut has said that John Heitinger would be a possible candidate to take over Tottenham temporarily, but was only brought in as Frank's assistant last week. In terms of permanent replacements, some of the more attractive coaches will not be on the market until the summer. As we said, Xavi Alonso is keen on a move to the Premier League, but is understood to want a rest and will study any offers from June. Now, if that's the case, we can all stop talking about Xavi Alonso. If he wants a rest and he's not going to look until June, if I was Xavi Alonso, right now, if Spurs came in for me, I am saying no. Be honest, guys. Take your Spurs hat off. If you go in, if we went in for Xavi Alonso right now, if you were Xavi, wouldn't you turn around and go, whoa, I'm going to wait till the summer. You know what? I'll have 4 months off. I'll wait till the summer. Let's see what jobs come up. Maybe the Liverpool job comes up. You know what I mean? Maybe that job comes up. So I don't think that you're going to get him. Listen, by the way, I think Xavi Alonso's a risk as well. I think every manager coming into this football club is a risk. He done really well at Leverkusen. But there's no guarantee that he repeats that here. So we'll see. Right? Big up to you. Really appreciate that. And good evening, Emma. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. That's very much appreciated. You're very kind as always. And I hope you're having a lovely evening. So I guess you have to ask. I'm somebody that always wants to look at the bigger picture. Right? Bigger picture. Yes, sack him. Absolutely fine. But right now, is now the time? What happens if it gets worse? What happens if you bring in a guy and it gets worse? Like when Stellini and Mason took over. Remember? What happens? What happens if you get worse and you go down? What would happen for all those fans saying that whatever happens, he must go right this second? Right this second? What if we got relegated with a new manager who comes in as an interim? What would you say? What would you say? Like, what would you say if that was that? No, I don't think we're going to, right? I think we're going to get enough points between now and the end of the season. What would you say? I don't know. Big up, Norman. Nice to meet you yesterday, mate. Said at the protest yesterday, but the turnout was so disappointing. Thousands booing the team in the stadium, but won't get off their backs. And I think that was the interesting thing for me. And listen, I've always been someone who I don't think protests work, but I wanted to make the effort. I wanted to go. I wanted to see, right, what's the appetite within this fan base to protest? What's the appetite for us to make change? And I saw yesterday that there isn't. There isn't. I think maybe 200 people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. At any given time, I don't know. Maybe 200. I mean, you were there, Norman. I don't know. I don't know. Big up Bobby. Said if Xabi Alonso wants a rest, I wouldn't take the job this summer. He will look like Martin Yolwyn thought. Mate, again, you look at any manager that joins Spurs about a year or 6 months into their Spurs tenure, they age. They age. Do you know what? I think if I took the Spurs job, I reckon I'd lose my hair, or go grey all in the space of 6 months. It seems like it's just a poisoned chalice. A poison chalice. Alex agreed that you've got to have a plan. You can sack him, that's absolutely fine, but you've got to have a plan. So we'll see. As I said, I think for many reasons it's right that he's not here. Now, whether or not it's this minute, whether or not it's after the window, I don't know. But I think the way I saw the stadium yesterday, I don't know that he comes back from it. I don't know that he comes back for it. As I said, I think he'll go somewhere and have a good career somewhere else. I do. I think he'll go somewhere and have a good career. This is a guy that, to do what he did at Brentford, is clearly a good manager, clearly a good coach, but it's got to be in the right setting, right? It's got to be with the right a management team in place. It's got to be with the right recruitment team in place. And he had that before. And here it just feels chaotic, doesn't it? It just feels chaotic, right? So good luck to the new guy coming into this chaotic shambles of a football club, whoever that may be. But as it stands, Thomas Frank is the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Laurie, I love this. I'm struggling to understand what your opinion is. Earlier you said he has got to go. Now it might not be the right time. No, just listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, again, Laurie, you've got to listen to what I'm saying. I think it's time that he goes. Now, it doesn't have to be this second or this week, but he's going to go, right? He's going to go. He's not going to come back from what's happened. It would be a miracle. But before you sack him, you've got to have a plan in place. This isn't that difficult to understand. Sack him, but you've got to get your ducks in a row. So you don't just go, right, sack today, see you later, boom, boom. Right, but what are we doing? You've got to have, right, okay, let's get this plan in place so we know what's happening for the rest of the season. I feel like I've made it quite clear what I'm saying. When you're saying you don't quite understand, I feel like you're not listening to me then. So what are your thoughts on Cochrane? Could he be interim? I don't know. I don't know. Everyone waxes lyrical about this guy as a coach. It's a big step up to be a manager, right? It's a big step up. Has he managed before? Would he want it? Would he be loyal to Frank? I don't know, mate. It's a lot of different things go around your head when you think about that one. It is. I think it's going to be a very, very strange atmosphere anyway, if I'm brutally honest. I really do. I really, really do. Yeah, look, I feel like he's aged massively. We saw this with Conte. Any manager who takes this job within 6 months to a year, they just look like they've been Spurs, if that's the word, don't they? It just looks like they've been through the wars. And there's got to be something wrong. This club has to take responsibility for his actions and back Frank, because there is a window open. And our squad is seriously depleted with injuries, and we still haven't replaced Sonny, let alone Johnson. I just listen. I'll be amazed at this stage if they do keep him. But if they do, on the one hand, fair play, you've backed your guy, but you've got to back him in the market, right? It's okay saying you can keep your job. That's the easy bit, but you've got to back him to do his job, right? You've got to. I don't know. Maybe they keep him and we bring in 3 players in the next 13 days. I know, I'm just kidding. Maybe that happens and everything changes. I don't know. With Spurs, never say never, right? Never say never. Never say never. Yeah. I mean, I think he could go to a Celtic. I think that there'd be Premier League clubs that would want him. But again, I think it would need to be clubs that have got a good structure in place. Again, just my opinion. Look, he did a wonderful job at Brentford. I think he would do so somewhere else. At the moment, it just feels like this is just a mess, and you can see he's not used to it. He's not used to it, and I don't know which manager we can go and get, and we can say, yeah, this guy is used to picking up a shit show. This guy is used to picking up a mess and can turn it around. Do those managers exist? I'm not sure they do. I just don't know. I just don't know. Let's see. Amazing how much leeway. Sorry, can I just ask, please, people? Is this microphone working? I'm pretty sure I've been clear about this. I'm pretty sure I've been clear about this. When you say leeway, what leeway? I'm saying is I think he's going to get sacked tomorrow. I don't know what leeway you think. All I'm saying is have a plan for the other side. I really, what? Sorry, is my is my microphone not working? Honestly, I struggle with YouTube so much because of comments like that. And you think people can't listen. People can't, they really can't seem to listen. I'm speaking really clear, plain English. Right? I'm not mixing my words. I'm not hard to understand. I've been very, very clear, right? I've been really clear on my stance. I can't be any clearer on this. I don't know. As I said, I don't know what type of manager I want anymore because it doesn't matter if they're not going to back him. Again, somebody who's not listening. So I'm not sure what type of manager you want, though. You say we can't attract top managers, yet you don't also want an interim. Like Wayne, but I haven't mentioned Wayne Burnett at all. What are we talking about? I've not mentioned Wayne Burnett. What's Wayne Burnett got to do with anything? Are we getting to that stage where people are just going to say anything now? Look, I don't know. I don't know where we go. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to see. Look, I'm going to find out at the same time as you lot if this manager is sacked or not. I'm going to find out at the same time as you lot as to who the interim is or who the permanent manager is. I don't know who we can attract. I don't know who would want to come here. That's not my job. That's not my job. All I know is whoever that guy is, they're going to have to back him. They're going to have to back him. Laurie, I don't understand. Listen to what I'm saying. Laurie, I'm going to make this really simple for you. Thomas Frank needs to go, as I said, for various reasons. He's lost the fans. He's lost the stadium, right? This is not going to work for him. He needs to be somewhere settled. He needs to go for his sake, for our sake, for everyone's sake. Is that clear? I feel like that's really clear, right? Now, I'm moving it along. So he has gone. What's the plan? I really feel like that's really straightforward. I don't get it. I'm not like, oh my God, get out, get out. I just think the time is right. He doesn't look happy. He is struggling. He is clearly struggling. The club are struggling, but it's all got to be done at the right time. I really don't understand what is different. I don't understand what is. Sorry, anyone else in the chat? I feel like I'm being really clear here. I feel like I'm being really, really clear. Is it just Laurie or is anyone else not sure on what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just like, honestly, it's like people lose the ability to use their ears. I've been very clear. No, but I mean, you backed Frank far more than Ange because it's pragmatic. No, I'm not getting into that again. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, guys and girls, come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, please. Oh, Jesus Christ, what we doing it? Oh, yeah, I think he'd probably want. Let's be fair. Let's be fair, right? If he might be, if you were Alonso's agent, you'd be saying, hold fire. Let's see what happens with Slot. Because Liverpool have had a mare, haven't they, really? Right? Laurie, mate, listen, I don't want to block you, but you're being weird. I don't understand. You've never been weird before. I've been really clear. I can't be any clearer. Right? I can't be any clearer. I can't be any clear. I really can't, mate. Please stop this. This is getting a bit silly. This is getting a bit silly. Ash, you're always honest with me. Please tell me you understand exactly what I'm saying. Please tell me. Yeah? Please tell me you it's hard work. It's really hard work. And this is what I mean. I'm still waiting for how Maresca is worse than Frank. I don't think that's aimed at me, is it? I don't think I've mentioned Maresca. Deanne has said, bring in Harry Redknapp. I mean, listen, I love Harry Redknapp. He's my favourite manager of the Premier League era. He is 78, 79. Would you want this? Would you need this stress? at the age of 78, 79. If someone came to me at the age of 78 and 79 and went, go and manage Tottenham, I'd be like, no, you're all right. You're all right. My heart's nearly 80 years of age. I think I'm going to give it a miss. Listen, loved Harry. Loved every minute of Harry managing this club. Big up, Bryce. How you doing, man? So Savage clear, mate. You're talking. It's just absolutely mad. I think what people want is they want vitriols. They want me to be Frank out. No, I'm saying I think for all parties concerned, Frank needs to go. It's the right time because I don't think he can win the fans back. I genuinely don't think he can win the fans back. Going to the game yesterday, hearing everyone talk about him in the concourse, in the stand, in the pubs, people have gone. They've lost it. They've lost all faith in him. The way he's talking in press conferences, it just feels like the clash and it just feels like this goes one way. You know, how comes you haven't mentioned Wayne Burnett? So somebody who's never managed before is going to pick up this, mate. I don't wish this on many managers, let alone someone who's never managed, mate. Oh, look, you've put this message in three times now. I've seen it. Just one more, you're going to be blocked, mate. Just relax. Just talk football, mate. It's boring now. All right. Savva, you said Xavi would change our attack. Did I? I mean, I think I pretty much said in the summer that I didn't like our attack. If you actually listened, I like Xavi. I think Xavi needs time. And I think maybe Xavi under a cooler, calmer setting at Tottenham could be very good. But please, can we stop this? It's all a bit silly, right? There's, we put on YouTube shows for people, and some people really just take the piss and want to be rude to the host. Just relax. All you got to do is watch a show, right? There you go. One more, mate. You had your chance. You're blocked. There you go. It's just silly now. It's really, really silly. It's really silly. But you don't think any of it at all is Frank's fault? He should only leave due to other. No, that's not what I said. Again, please. That's not what. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the show now. It's getting silly. Now people are just being silly. That's not what I said. I said he is massively struggling. He is massively struggling. It's not the right setting for him. He cannot cope with the mess that Spurs are as a club. It's not the right time for him to get his ideas across. He doesn't play the football that majority of the fans want to see. He's now starting to make decisions which you can clearly see are affected by stress. He's getting things wrong. But I don't blame all of it on him. I think the squad is a mess at the same time. I don't know why everyone's got to be so pedantic. Right? Can we all just take a step back? It's so mad, isn't it? Even when I get to the state, right? Even when I get to the stage where I'm like, yeah, I do think it's time for him to go. It's not enough for people like this. But you said, no, that's not what I said. That's what you want to hear. Right? It's what you want to hear. Absolutely. If the board make the decision to keep him, back him. If you're not going to back him, are you going to back the next guy? I really don't understand what's difficult about this. Absolutely, Ruben. That's exactly where I'm at with it. Oh, mate, Quinny, I do, mate. Honestly, I've never known so many people hard of hearing. I literally go over. I'm like, I genuinely feel like what I'm saying is very, very clear. Very, very clear. I know everything needs to be vitriolic, don't they? I know everything needs to be, get him out, this Danish guy, but there's no need for that. If it's not the right man, and it's not the right time, and it's not working, go, right? But are you backing the next guy? I've said that for how many weeks? I didn't overreact. You said something that I didn't say. If you're going to say things I didn't say, mate, as a twin, I think that as I said, if they're going to back him, it will shut all of us up, right? The board have the power here, right? The board have the power, don't they? They can turn around and go, right? They can turn around and go, we are sticking by this guy, right? This is our project. This is our plan. We're going to back him in the next 3-4 windows. This is our manager. No more talk about him being sacked. If they do that, we turn around and go, okay, some agree, some don't. Fine, he's our manager. Right. Now the pressure goes on to ENIC. Right, come on, back him. Right, back him. Come on, Thomas, you've been backed. Let's see. If they're not going to do that, then get rid of him now and we go again. I'm genuinely not sure how clear I can be. I'm just not sure. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Everyone's frustrated. I get it. The whole fan base. God, aren't we all frustrated for decades? This football club is extremely frustrated. This football club is very frustrating. And we all want some calm. And if ever a football club needed a period of calmness, it's us. But we're not going to get it. We're never going to get it unless these owners implement a plan. Ash, mate, this is what makes me laugh, right? It's like every fan thinks that every one of their opinions is always right. Of course not. Listen, I like Xavi Simons. It hasn't worked for him so far. It might not work for him, but what does it matter? Like, you do realize that we're just YouTubers, right? Like, I know you get to say, you do realize I'm exactly the same as you and everyone else, but I just put my face on the camera. Everyone in the chat, they always remember everything you say because you can't remember everything they say. People go, oh, but you said this. Yeah, but what did you look at all the things people say wrong in the chat? You know. Big up to you, my man. It's a great show, Savva. I met you yesterday at game 2. Adam from Bro, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I met some really cool people yesterday. Some really nice people. So big up to you, my man, and good meeting you. Look, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? You know. Yeah, look, I just find it a bit silly. Like, you know, I've again given up an hour and a half of my Sunday evening, put on a show, trying to talk Spurs, and most people are very, very very competent in terms of just having football chat. And then those others who are they just can't seem to act like human beings. Yeah, saw that Ornstein said many of the players aren't happy, but we heard that many of the players weren't happy with Ange. We heard that many of the players weren't happy with Conte. We heard that many of the players weren't happy with Jose. We heard that many of the players weren't happy with, like, what do you do? You know, at what point do we put any of the blame on the players? Because they're getting away scot-free. They're getting away scot-free, aren't they? They get away scot-free from this. So just because I'm not focusing purely on the manager, there's blame everywhere. There's blame everywhere for me. Blame absolutely everywhere. And I don't know who comes in and fixes this. As I said, I'm not going to offer names up because I don't know who comes in and fixes this without a plan and without the backing. You can talk to me about, do you think this is a good manager? Yeah, sure. Doesn't mean anything. Jose was a top manager. Conte was a top manager. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Big up Paul. Said, funny, fans don't take responsibility if players not happy. He's lost the dressing room over being booed. Weak take. Look, I think the interesting thing is if every time the players aren't happy with something, you sack a manager, it's going to be strange, right? Yeah, do you know what I think's funny about this? Right, I think this is interesting because, you know, we had this chat earlier where I said, you know, it's like I'm happy for my mind to be changed over a period of time. I can't change my mind on everything in one game, one scenario. I'm happy to say, like, okay, like I don't see anything in Archie Gray as a footballer. I'm happy in 2 years turn around and go, God, I was really wrong on that. Look how he's developed. Nothing wrong with that. Look, he's proved me wrong over the last 2 years. But everyone's so worried about being right or wrong. Everyone is so worried about being right or wrong. I don't know what it matters. What does anyone gain from it? You said this about Xavi. You said this about Mawani. You said this about Romero. You said this about... What does it matter? The whole club's a mess and we're going to point score on an opinion. Like, what does it matter? Well, I mean, in that second half, we had 21 shots, right? But there's no attacking quality, right? I get what you're saying. It's okay to want a clear attacking mindset. Got to go and buy the right players that allow you to play an attacking mindset. And you've got to have a plan from the top that allows that and the scouting that allows that. Got to, right? That's all I'm saying. I think a lot of people, what they can't differentiate for me is the difference between a manager being a person in time who's in charge here and the actual club structure, plan, and ethos for years. There's a lot of people who can't differentiate. They can't differentiate between the two, right? Lots of people don't understand that we can have a conversation about players, and that's separate to the manager, and then that's separate to the owners and to the. There's a lot of different variations that we're allowed to talk about. But it's funny, isn't it? Like with that guy, Marios, for example, all he can say is Frank out. We could be talking about, would you sign Lookman? Hey, Frank out. It's like, yeah, but we're not talking about that right now. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. It's just a bit strange. Do I think Maresca would make a good manager for us? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm going to put this really clearly, right? As I said, I don't know who will be a good manager for us unless there's a plan in place from the top. Do you know the funny thing is, I will repeat that a million times until we get a new manager. And when that new manager comes in, people will go, who did you want, right? As I said, there's got to be a plan. I don't know how many times I've got to say this on this channel before I'm told that I don't talk about it, and I don't talk about the bigger picture. Look at that debate earlier. I was told I don't talk about the bigger picture, and I don't talk about ENIC, and I don't talk about a plan and structure. It's all I talk about. I talk about it every day. And Rich, big up to you, my man. I mean, this is interesting, right? Again, lots of people hate Lang, but they're saying, sack this manager, right? And that's fine. And Lang, can you appoint a new manager, but you're going to stay and be the director of football? I don't know. Do we trust him? Do we not? Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As I've always said, results are going to dictate everything. As much as I wanted it to work with Frank, as much as I want to back him, there's just too much going on, and I can see that it's not going to work out. Now, if he turns this round and works it out, fair play to the man. I can't see it. The fans have gone. The fans have gone. Like, in terms of on him, they've gone. The atmosphere in that stadium was toxic. The atmosphere was absolutely toxic. You know, when you've got your own fans singing you're getting sacked in the morning, you know it's time, right? Like, I don't know how you come back from that as a manager. So for me, said before the game, I was talking with Sean before the game, and I said, look, if he doesn't win today, it's going to be really untenable for him to keep his job, because London derby, another defeat, another home defeat, it's going to be really untenable for him. And that's what transpired. It's crazy, isn't it? You know, we should have won the game, to be honest with you, with how much of the game we had in the second half. We should have won it, but we didn't. And it is what it is. So that's where I'm at with it. But I think everyone's so worried about, did so-and-so flip-flop? Did so-and-so change their mind? Did so-and-so get new? I just find it all a little bit silly at this stage. I'm more than happy, right? Like, there's players I rate, there's players I don't. Same with you lot. There's players you rate, there's players you don't. I think we can all agree, right? I don't want any player at Spurs to not make it. Like, I don't rate Odegaard. Doesn't mean I don't want him to turn into Messi. I don't think he is. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's the problem, by the way. It's funny because whenever you say you don't rate a player, you get that. Oh, how are we blaming this player? No, who's blaming that player? Like, I think the front three yesterday is the worst I've ever seen in a Spurs shirts, right? In a game. I'm not blaming them. I don't think they're good enough, and I don't think they should be at Tottenham. I'm not blaming them for the mess we're in. And I think that's the difference. When I have really good football conversations with people that can, they can decipher the two things are different, it's good. Yeah, look. Yeah, I think the stress has got to him. You can see it. The stress has got to him. I think we could see the stress got to Frank after to Ange, didn't it? When Ange went from Mr. Bubbly to snapping in interviews. I mean, we saw the pressure get to Antonio Conte, right? Jose, the pressure started getting to him in press conferences. Poch, when he started flirting with Real Madrid and started talking about new furniture. This isn't new. This isn't a Thomas Frank thing. We're going to see this again. So what? I wanted Frank to work. Looks like it's not going to. Okay. I've seen my football team over a number of years with a number of different managers not work. I'm not really that precious about. It's crazy. Whenever I finish a show, I always go and sit downstairs, take a breath to myself, and think, "Oh my God, there are some idiots out there who truly can't." Madness. Savva, I can't get my head around people who don't see the difference between this season's front four and last. Well, look, I have that opinion. I'm not saying everyone should, but yeah, I have that opinion. When I'm told that nothing would be different with last season's front four versus this season, I'm what? But that's me. That's only my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. That's just my opinion. But I can't force a narrative to like a player that I don't rate. I've never been that way. I will over time like them or I won't. There's been, look at Harry Kane when he was younger. I was one of those people when, nah, I don't see anything in him. Look at that, right? Bale, I was the opposite. Bale, I was always like, oh yeah, there's something in this kid. And it worked. Kane, I was one of the thousands who were like, oh, this kid ain't good enough. And then bang, suddenly you've got one of the best strikers in the world. So you never know. It's only opinions. And just because my opinion is on a YouTube channel and on a camera doesn't mean that I can be ridiculed for it every minute of every day. It's like, we're not going to get everything right. You're not going to get everything wrong. It's just the way it is. So we'll see. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't have the best first season. And the difficulty is this, right? Let's say in a hypothetical world, Quinny, right? Let's say in a hypothetical world, let's say this. Let's say hypothetical world, Spurs settle down, bring in 3 or 4 really good players, 5 or 6 between January and the summer. We get a good 11 together and it's settled and it's playing well. Suddenly you might see a different Xavi Simons, for example. You might see a more confident Xavi Simons who settled into the country in a better system. I don't know. Or he could turn out to be a massive flop. You know what? Just because you like a player at the time of buying them doesn't mean you're going to get everyone right. If every time we got an opinion wrong, we're going to get berated for it, people will just stop giving opinions, won't they? Like, you can't get everything right. Can't get everything wrong. It's just the way it is. Look, I'm wrong about loads of stuff and I'm right about loads of stuff. That's life. Same with you lot. I'm sure you lot are right. I'm sure you lot are wrong. But everyone will remind you of what they've been right about and they will not tell you they were wrong about something. But it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I'll be honest, as I said, I've stopped doing panel shows on other channels because the point scoring thing is just so boring. It's so boring. But you said this in October 2023. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. How many? Yeah, but under Conte, you meant, oh my God. Like, what are we doing? So much has changed. So much has changed. Like, if you want me to rate now versus the Conte era, what am I judging? Different teams, different leagues, different opposition managers, different spend. It's all so different. But someone's like, yeah, but you didn't want Conte. And that means that you can't want this person. How did you not want that person? It's like, oh my gosh, like, let's just stop linking everything. Right? Let's just stop linking absolutely everything that's ever been said. Right? Football YouTubers are live every day. Right? Football YouTubers are live every single day. We say a lot of things. Right? When people go, do you remember when you said this? It's like, God, I can't remember everything I said on every. Can you imagine if I remembered everything I said on YouTube? Can you imagine? Mental. Yeah, I think, by the way, I think a lot of people were very wrong. When we first signed Moussa Dembele, I was like, okay, something's there. But then when he started, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, you're all right. But then when Poch came and we were like, wow, look at this guy. And that's the beauty of it. Right? That's the beauty of it. That's the absolute beauty of it, isn't it? Wouldn't we all love to be wrong about every player we don't rate at Spurs? Wouldn't we all love to be? Wouldn't we love to? I'd love to turn around in 3 years and go, oh my God, Bergvall and Gray are world class. God, look how wrong I was. Oh my God, how wrong I was. What's it matter at that stage? I don't care. I've now got 2 world class players at my club. But here's what it is. Zigzag, stop this. Why would I leave the Spurs 5 because of Lubo? What are you doing? What are you talking about? I left the Spurs 5 because I couldn't commit to every Monday and every Thursday. It's that simple. I needed some time to myself. And honestly, when I'm in that show, the chat is just all times. And it just gets a bit too much. Just gets a little bit too much at times. People say you don't want to be challenged. It's fine challenging me, but you got to challenge me on what's actually being said. What I find a lot of people do is they take a snippet of what's being said, but not the full picture. Right? That's life, isn't it? It's like, when the press, they post an article with a comment, and you're like, yeah, but hang on, that's not actually the full. That wasn't the full thing. That wasn't what was fully said. That was one sentence in and amongst a whole long ramble. But it's that bit that people remember, isn't it? It's that bit that people remember. And it's always been that way. But look, I think, I think we're all right. We're all wrong. Does it really matter? Does it really matter at the end of the day? It used to be so much fun as well, by the way. It used to be so much fun. Now everything's about mud. Everything's about throwing mud, throwing hate at another YouTuber. Everything's about I'm right, you're wrong. Everything's about let me belittle. It's like I just don't really care. Yeah, I just don't really care about it that much, if I'm honest. They do that to all the content creators. I didn't say they didn't. I find it silly. I find it childish. I know what you're trying to do in the chat. Well done for trying to do it. I just find it childish. Like I find it when I see thumbnails like, this content creator in the mud. I'm like, oh, what? So-and-so is cooked. What are we doing? Like, when did football fans talk like this of each other? It used to be banter. Now it's all so much. Like, you go on certain channels, right? Across all, not Spurs, across all football YouTube. And because I'm a Spurs and Spurs have lost, it's like, right, the panel ripped the shit out of Savva because Spurs lost the game. Okay. Even if I go, yeah, we were shit. Yeah, but we're going to rip into you. For what? Like, I don't manage the team. I find all of that a little bit silly. I find it all a little bit too... it's gone away from actually talking about football in depth into tactics, in depth into management, in depth in... It's just I think it's gone away from that. Obviously, when I'm with my mates, like not YouTube, but when I'm with my mates, we have a bit of banter and we're talking football in the pub. And everyone can actually put a sentence together without going, you're in the mud. It's like, but on YouTube, it's like everyone's got to cook everyone else. Like, what? What do you mean? So-and-so said this, get ready for the cooking. What? So-and-so predicted a win and they lost. Your gut, what? So football fan predicts his team to win. Oh, no, shock horror, right? I've had it on here before where I said, yeah, I think we're going to win today. Yesterday, so yeah, I think we'll beat West Ham. Gutted, you said we'd win. Why are Spurs fans saying to me, gutted that Spurs didn't win? Why on earth would you? Why on earth? Why on earth would anyone want to berate another fan of the same club because that team didn't win? That's mental, right? Tell me if you agree, guys, in the chat. I think that's mental. Ha, gutted. Gutted what? It's our team. We both lost. What do you mean? I support Spurs, you support Spurs. Spurs lost. Why are you saying gutted to me? We should both be gutted. We should both be gutted. It's not, oh, I predicted a defeat, so I'm better than you. What? Look, it's interesting, isn't it? Listen, YouTube is great and shit all at the same time. It really, really is. I as I said, I try and do less on other people's channels now. Sometimes I go into a show and just the comment section is just horrible, like just mad, just utterly mad. People, you'll turn up on a show and people go, "Oh, what's this prick doing here? Who's this melt? What a wank!" And you're like, "Whoa!" Like I haven't even said anything yet. It's just the way it is. And then when you actually break it down, guys, you know all that these people have done. Give you free content. That's all we've done. You think of all the people that look at all these trolls that have a go at me. All I'm doing is giving free content. I'm not charging you. I'm not charging you to watch me. I don't make you give me money. I don't, it's the same with anyone. So, it's all a bit crazy. And that's why, as you see, I do a lot more now on my own channel. I do less on others. I mean, I pop onto Sean. Sean's always been very supportive of me. I'll always help out other channels. I think I always try my best to help out newer channels as well. But as I said, when people say you need thicker skin to do this, you know the people who say you need thicker skin, they're the ones that just abuse like people, right? They're the ones that just abuse people. And I do find it funny. I do find YouTube funny. Right now, surely, whatever you think of the manager of the players, surely we should all be a bit sad as to what's happening with the club, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we all be a bit, oh, this is not what we want to do, right? This is not what we want to be. This isn't what we want to be seeing at our club. But again, it's all got to be about mud. It's all got to be about point scoring. It's all got to be about gutted, your player. This is your player. This is your player. This is your manager. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I want it to be our club. I want it to be our club for once. And that is why after Frank, I am drawing a line on all of this. I'm drawing a line after all of this nonsense. I'm drawing a line under all of this nonsense. As I've said, I'm not going to go in on, I'd give this manager, that manager, or this manager the job. I will talk about the managers that are linked to us. I will give my opinions on them as managers, but I won't say that's my favorite. I want him. And whoever Spurs bring in, thank you very much for joining. Welcome to our club and good luck. Because whoever joins needs the luck, don't they? They need the luck. And you know what? I'll be honest, I was having this chat with my wife the other night and I just said, I feel like I might be too old for this YouTube thing, because I said to her, I don't want to join in on this mud stuff. I don't want to join in on this cooking stuff. Like I said, it's not me. It's never been me. It's not the sort of person I am. I just don't care for it. Yeah, we'll have a bit of banter with my mates, and I said to her, like, am I too old? And she always has to remind me, and I always have to remind myself, there are a lot of people who do like the content that I put out. There are a lot of people that do like to listen to me talk football. There are those that say, Savva, just do one man show, so just myself. They like that. There are people who want me to get guests on, but from the bottom of my heart, I really, I really do appreciate everybody that's helped me out and stuck by me and that kind of stuff, because this is honestly, it's tough. Honestly, it's absolutely tough. So I know, hypothetical. Let's say Thomas Frank gets sacked tomorrow. I'll come on, right? Why not? I'll come on and go, right, Thomas Frank's been sacked. He's gone. He's left the building. Where do we go from here? People go, gutted, your man. Gutted, why? Gutted, why? It's happened. We move on. And it should be fun, right? Surely it should be more fun. Surely it shouldn't just constantly be everyone trying to pick holes in each other. I'll be honest, that's why I've left every WhatsApp group. I used to be in so many WhatsApp groups. Screenshots flying around. He said this, she said that. He said this about you. I was like, oh, no. I don't care about that shit. I genuinely don't care about that shit. I'm in not one single football WhatsApp group with anyone from YouTube. If I want to speak to someone, I message them personally. I just can't do it. Your phone is beeping all day long. And I got caught up in all of the shit. And my personality is such that I go too far sometimes. And it was just like, no, I'm going to stop this, you know. But anyway, that was took a turn, didn't it? Look, I think that Spurs are about to go through an interesting phase. But you know what? We're always going through an interesting phase. This is nothing new to me or the older fans. This is nothing new. This shouldn't be new to any of us, right? This shouldn't be new to any of us. This, if we get a new manager, this is 7 managers in 6 years. That's mental. 7 managers in 6 years. Like, and if anyone's then going to say that, you know, there's not massive problems at this football club, right? 7 managers in 6 years tells you there are ginormous problems at this football club. You can't constantly get it wrong every year with a different manager and say there isn't a bigger problem. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I don't understand. All the terms for me are just madness, man. Like all this rage baiting stuff, and it's just like I don't get it. I just want to talk football, and I really wish that, you know, everybody who watched in the chat could just have sensible football conversations. I really wish they could. Look, it is what it is. Look, guys, let me do some super chats. By the way, if anyone's watching, AC Milan have just gone 1-0 up. Really well worked goal. Hang on, it's going to be great, superb that. Oh, if he's kept it in. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think isn't that sad though? Isn't it? Like, can you imagine? I can't imagine at this age, at my age now, creating a fake account or creating a troll account, whatever it is, going into chat rooms and just trying to wind people up. I've got so many better things to do. You know. Anyway, let's go to some super chats. Big up to DJ again, who said, I'd take Slot if Liverpool sack him. Yeah, sure. I mean, look, ifs, buts, and maybes with that one. Do Liverpool back their guy? I mean, listen, let's be fair. He's, I want to say 14 points off the top. Liverpool 14 points off the top of the table. And that is absolutely mad when you think about it. Liverpool 14 points off the top after winning it last year. So look, I'm guessing I think that this summer there's going to be a massive manager merry-go-round. I really do. We already know Man United are going to need a manager in the summer, right? Maybe we need a manager in the summer. Lots of clubs, I think, are going to need managers in the summer. So watch this space. Big up to you. Big up to Hotspur Flicks TV. Said, evenings, have a great show. Thank you very much. The board and ENIC have to go. Sure. The board and ENIC have to go. Many people have been saying it for many years. I don't know how this happens. Clearly, there's not enough appetite to make protests work. I wanted to try it out yesterday, and unfortunately, it did show me that the appetite wasn't there. It felt a little bit pointless, if I'm brutally honest. I don't think it made a dent. But hey, let's see. Maybe they sell up. Let's see. Big up to you. Really appreciate that. Tim Mann, 007, how you doing, my friend? Good evening to you. So I think Frank is getting the full brunt of years and years of frustration. Yeah, I can go with that. For the sake of all, we need a change now. Give me Defoe and Harry to the end of the season for opponent manager. And I think this is the point I'm trying to make, Tin Man. When I say for many reasons he needs to go, right? I think that this is what I mean. It's not that he's without fault. It's not that he's perfect. I just think that there's so much that's happened at this club that he is absolutely taking a lot of brunt. To be fair, Ange did as well. And the problem is the next manager is going to as well. And when you have 7 managers in 6 years, this is going to happen, right? This is going to happen. So, look, I mean, I'd love Harry, but as I said, at the age of 78, would you want this? I'd want to sit in my nice big house in Sandbanks, chill out. I don't know if I'd want the pressure, but hey, you got to remember Harry as well. When he was at Spurs, he had Bale and Lennon and Van der Vaart. here he'd be coming into Tell and Odeber and Mawani. So I'm not sure he'd get the same impact. But big up to you, my man. Yes, this has been a strange season for everyone. Absolutely. Big up to you, Tim, man. I really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. Big up to Matthew Hoy, who said, I'm a Man United fan. Love your content, Savva. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And good win for you guys yesterday. Get a club legend in as an interim and you'll soon see the fan base suddenly realise the players are garbage. Well, I mean, this is a key thing for me, Matthew, right? This is key for me. I want to see what happens if a new manager, ifs, buts, maybes, just an if. If a new manager comes in, yeah, if a new manager comes in right now and nothing changes, at what stage are people going to go, yeah, actually, yeah, we're now seeing, we're now 3.5 years of these players not doing anything. Equally, it works the other way. So if a new manager comes in and Spurs, what have we got? 16 games left and Spurs win 10 of their last 16, turn around and go, actually, do you know what? Fair play. Look, he's getting the best out of these players. So it's going to be interesting, right? Let's see. Let's get whoever comes in. I think they've got a massive job. This is a huge job. And that's why I'm not sure what type of character wants to take it. So big up to you, Matthew. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, my man. Big up to DJ again. Very generous. Said you have to have let me start that again. You have to have an authoritarian. Why can't I speak? You have to have an authoritarian proven winner. These players think they are better than they are based on wage and transfer fees. Guys are deluded. Look, I don't think the squad's that good. I'll be proved wrong or I'll be proved right. What does it matter? At the end of the day, we need better players. It doesn't matter. We all know we need better players. It really doesn't matter. So let's see. Big up to you, my man. Thank you, DJ. Big up to Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan, for the super sticker. Very generous to you, my man. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Again, Ryan coming in again. Said, break from the chaos. Thanks for the work you put in. Listen, I try. I do think that sometimes it is a bit harsh when people are just digging you out all the time. I come on, I put on shows, and doing these one-man shows. Not many people do it. I know, like, Sean and I definitely do it. 2 hours of talking by yourself, interacting, looking after all of the chats, the comments, the super chats, everything, the YouTube studio. It's tough work. It is tough work. So thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate that. Big up to Nugget. How you doing, Nugget? So big up, Savva. I really appreciate the shows. It's just truly depressing, the state we are in, but not surprised one bit. Ignore the trolls, mate. ENIC out. Yes, ENIC out indeed. Thank you very much, Nugget. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Big up to Andy Lester. Said, did Matt come find you yesterday? No, Matt didn't come and find me yesterday. No, he did threaten a few times, didn't he? He was going to come and find me and never did. Oh, sure. Whatever. Again, it's all so childish. Big up to you, my man. Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate that. Loads of people came up to me yesterday saying, hey, seen your show. How are you? We had football chats and they were all very nice and it was great. And it always is. People are always very nice in person. Just behind a keyboard, they seem to say what they want. Big up to you, Andy. Big up to Sia the Grey. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the super sticker. Very generous indeed. Big up to Paul for the super sticker. Again, very generous, Paul. Really appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much. And appreciate that message from Cyril and McCoys, who's been a member for 14 months. So we need at least 10,000 at protests. Look, I was intrigued to see what was going to happen yesterday at the protest. And, when I left the pub to go to where the protest was at 2 p.m., I was honestly looking around a bit like, it was just a bit flat. It was just like a bit, I don't know, and I asked the question, is there an appetite for this? And I've never had the appetite for it. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I don't think protests do anything. I think from yesterday, my opinion is they still don't do anything unless it is truly, 10,000 people. 10,000 people get out there, maybe it does something. But at the moment, it's not. So, look, it is what it is. Big up, Mark. So there is no quick fix. Of course there isn't. Mark, as I keep saying, whoever comes in needs years. Years and years and years. I said the same about Frank. I'll say the same about the next guy coming in. Years and years and years. It's needed. Our fans want it to turn around in months. It's just not going to happen, my man. It's not going to happen, as you very well know. Thank you very much. Big up to you. Look, it's it's just football at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just football. It's just football. It's just football. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think if you've got 10,000 people out there, I think you can maybe do something. But look, Dan was there yesterday as well, and I think we agreed it was just, you know, it was tough because it was just sort of like you know, everyone just walked past it and didn't want to join in, and it is what it is. Hey, it is what it is. Big up to Andy who said, thanks for the content, Savva. You appreciate it. Thank you, mate. So many of you have been very nice today. So thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate you, my man. You're always very generous to me. Big up to Spurs Syndrome. Said, new manager won't change the fact that this is the worst squad we've had in years. I see it like that. Others don't. Let's see. Let's see. This is the point, right? My point is, moving forward, I don't want to get involved in any Frank Ange type scenarios ever again. My point is, the next manager comes in, I will back him. Just give him time and money and a plan. That's where I'm at. So we need about 18 players to even break into top 4. Look, I think the squad is really weak. We'll see. And last year, by the way, my point with Ange was never that Tottenham should be in the top 4 or anything. It was just that we shouldn't be 17th. And I think people lose that in translation. Big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for that. And big up to Serenus. So when Lang was at Villa, they were fighting for relegation. Now he's at Spurs and we're in the mess that never been for a long time. Coincidence. Good evening. Look, I think that as much as I don't think Lang is great, I do think this has been many years. This isn't just Lang. A lot of this was Paratici before him. And mainly ENIC, right? Mainly ENIC. So I don't know, mate. I don't know. As I've said, I'm past the stage of caring in terms of what the name of the next manager is. I will not be given a short list of my favourite 3 or 4 and go with it again. We will see what we see. We'll get the manager in, we get in, and we take it from there, right? That's how it is. Guys, let me see if there's anybody else live that I can send you over to. I don't know if anyone in the Spurs community is live on this Sunday night. I bet we'd all be live if he'd been sacked. Let's have a look. Anybody? That was 12th man. Actually, I think yeah, thfc until we die alive. Yeah, they went live now, just this second. So I'm going to send you over to them. So I'm going to send you over to thfc till we die. Please get over there, say Savva Raid or fhtv Raid, whatever you're comfortable with. Much love, everyone. Really have a good evening. Thank you to everyone, even the trolls. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.